Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee and I'm so excited to have you guys here with me today. I have a very exciting video that I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing the stay at home book tag. So I really enjoy doing tags a lot. Most of the tags that I've done on my channel and that I've watched a lot were Disney tags, but I was curious to see if there were book tags because I really enjoy reading, and one of the things I wanted to do on my channel was book related videos like book reviews and my favorite books and things like that. So I searched on YouTube to see if there were book tags, and there are a lot. So I decided I was going to do one today, and I decided that I was going to do the stay at home book tag because we are in quarantine and it was created recently. So it's a newer tag. It was created by Princess of Paperback, and I will link her video and her channel in the description below. She's also the one that I saw do the tag, so yeah, I'll link her video below. And I'm going to be reading all of the questions and such on my notebook because I am filming on my phone. So if I look down occasionally, that's why. But anyways, let's get started with the book tag. So the first one is Laying in Bed, a book you could or have read in one day. So the book I chose for this is by my favorite author, Ellen Hopkins. I love all of her books. I own every single one of them. And I actually did read this book in one day, multiple times. I've read it so many times, and every single time I finished it in one day because I just couldn't put it down. So this book is Crank by Ellen Hopkins. Highly recommend reading all of her books. Like, honestly, they're so good. This book has been out for a really long time, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already read it. Let's see, it came out in 2004, I believe. So it's been out for a long time. I read it in middle school, actually. But if you haven't heard of her or you haven't read any of her books, I highly recommend starting with this one. She writes in like poems, pretty much. Some of her books she has a mixture of poems and like regular paragraph style, but this one is in full poem style. The next question, or category I should say, is snacking. So a guilty pleasure book. So one of my guilty pleasures is the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. I know this series gets a lot of hate. It got a lot of hate after the movies came out. I enjoy the movies. I own every single one of them. I don't think they're nearly as good as the books, though. These books are so amazing. Like, so amazing. I tried to avoid them for a while, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a shot. And I read them, and they're so, so good. They're definitely, like, not something that I'd, like, grab towards if I want to read like on a deep level, but just for like an enjoyment piece, highly recommend Twilight. Everyone's probably already read the book though, but if you haven't, go read it. It's a great book. The next category is Netflix, a series you want to start. So I had a hard time thinking of a series that I want to start because most of the series that I wanted to start, I have started or I've finished. But I was recently helping my sister like clean out her room, and she found a book that she wasn't going to read, and I found the description pretty interesting, and it is a series, so I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the Fallen series by Lauren Kate. I have not started this book yet, but it sounds very interesting to me. So I will give it a go, and I hope I like it and can get the rest of the books from this series. Let's see, what is it about? So it says, there's something achingly familiar about Daniel Grogery, something like that. Mysterious and aloof, he captures Luce Pierce's attention from the moment she sees him on her first day at Sword and Cross boarding school in Savannah. He's the one bright spot in a place where cell phones are forbidden and other students are screw-ups and security cameras watch every move. except Daniel wants nothing to do with Luce. He goes, or is it Lucy? I think it's Lucy. He goes out of his way to make that very clear, but she can't let it go. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame, Lucy has to find out what Daniel is so desperate to keep a secret, even if it kills her. Dangerously exciting and darkly romantic, Fallen is a page-turning thriller and the ultimate love story. So yeah, this is a series I want to start, and I will start it soon. The next category is Deep Clean. So a book that has been on your to-be-read book for ages. So I have quite a few of those actually, but the one I chose was Borrowed Light by Anna Finberg. I actually bought this book when I was a sophomore in high school, and I am now 24, almost 25. So it's been here for a long time, but I have not read it. Actually, I bought it and then was like, here, sister, read it, have fun. And I lent it to her. And she keeps telling me, Kaylee, this book is so amazing. You have to read it. You have to read it. And it's just been sitting here waiting for me to pick it up. And I haven't read it yet. I will have to read it though. It seems like it would be a good book and something right up my alley. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But it says 16-year-old Callisto May feels a deep connection to astronomy. She can name all the moons of Jupiter and even tell you the dimensions of the big red spot. But she feels completely alone on planet Earth, and now that she's pregnant, her loneliness is acute. She can't turn to her mother, who's too consumed by unspoken grief to care for her children. She can't turn to her father, who buries himself in work and pretends that life at home is normal. And her surfer boyfriend wants freedom to catch the perfect wave more than he wants to hang around Castillo. Only Callisto's little brother loves her unfailingly, but she can't be there for him right now. She's got to make a huge decision, and for a change, that means thinking of herself first. Somehow, though, as her world orbits out of control, Callisto finds the courage to fight through the secrecy and silence that are suffocating her family, along with the strength to decide what's best for her future. So, yeah, it's been on my shelf for years. I don't even know when this book came out. But, yeah, it's been on my to-be-read for a very, very long time. I will eventually get to it. The next category is Animal Crossing. So a book you recently bought because of hype. So I couldn't find a book that I recently bought because of hype, so I just picked one that when I bought it because of hype. I bought it while I was, I want to say a sophomore in college. Maybe a freshman, I don't know. But anyways, I bought it because of the hype, and that would be 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. So I was kind of iffy about this whole thing, kind of thought it was a little weird. I'm not very into erotic books, but there was so much hype surrounding this book, like so much. Everyone in my family I knew read it. My mom read it, my grandma read it, my cousins read it, my aunts read it. Everyone read this book. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this one, and I also bought the other two in the series, and I really enjoyed the second one. The third one's been a little hard to get through, to be honest, and I'm not really sure why, but I haven't even finished the third one, and I started it, like, when I was a sophomore in college, so, like, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, somewhere around there. Just kind of sad. But, yeah, this is one of the books that I bought because of hype. The next category is productivity, and it's a book you learned from or had an impact on you. So for this category, I actually picked two different books, because they both had, I either learned from them or they had an impact on me for different reasons. So the first book that I picked is Love Anish Allah, The Secret Love Lives of American Muslim Women. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, but this is the book. I actually had to read this book for a class. I took a Middle Eastern cultures class in college, which I absolutely loved the entire class. It was amazing to hear my professor's stories about his life growing up in the Middle East, and then just learning about the cultures in the Middle East. But yeah, this was one of the books we had to read. It's actually one of my favorite books, even though I had to read it for class. I really enjoyed all the different stories from women living in America and how their love lives have gone, and how the culture between regular American dating is different than the culture related to dating and love in the Muslim or Islam religion, and how having those two like come to a meet, how that affects real people's lives. There's another book, I don't know the exact title, but it's basically The Secret Love Lives of American Muslim Men, which I haven't read yet, but I really, really do want to get and to read. I think it's very interesting, and it gives you like another perspective on someone else's life and helps you understand other cultures, which I think is really, really important. The other book that I picked for this category, I didn't really necessarily learn from it, but it definitely did have an impact on me, especially growing up. I read this book in middle school. I have now seen the TV show. I think the first season of it was really good. The rest of them, I think, kind of went a little out there based on the book, but it made a big impact on me, and it kind of led to what I went to school for college and what I got my degree in. So it definitely had an impact on me, and that book is 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Most people have now heard of 13 Reasons Why. There was a big controversy around the show on Netflix, so I'm sure everyone has heard of this. Even if you didn't like the show or you didn't agree with it being made, I still recommend reading the book. It is a very good read, and it opens your eyes to the trauma that a person can face because of bullying and because of different things that happen to them, and how that trauma kind of follows you and can ultimately lead to suicide. But yeah, definitely recommend this book, and it's one that definitely impacted my life. I have a few more categories left. The next category is FaceTime Playbook, You Were Gifted. So I picked another Ellen Hopkins book. I picked Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. This is my all-time favorite book in existence. I absolutely love it. I got this for my birthday one year from my parents, and the reason I picked this book, other than the fact that it's my favorite book of all time and I was gifted it, is because not only did they give me this book, but they gave me one that was autographed by Ellen Hopkins. I was so excited to receive this book. I actually put it on my list that I wanted to get an autograph by Ellen Hopkins, and I didn't think that they would actually get it for me. But then when I got this, I was so excited because I had already read this book and I absolutely loved it, but I had it as an e-reader version, not as a hard copy, and I like having hard copies of books. So I was already just excited to get this book in general as a hard copy, and then I opened it and it was autographed, and I cried. I cry pretty much every time I see it because I'm so obsessed with it. Like, she's an amazing author, and I really want to meet her one day. I actually tweeted about all my Ellen Hopkins books a few days ago, stating how like I'm obsessed and everything, and she tweeted back to me, and I almost died. Like, I was so excited. It was like one of the most amazing moments in my life thus far. I ran out into the other room to tell my sister, and she was like, "Oh, congrats, Kaylee." And then I ran downstairs to tell my best friend, and he also laughed at me, but I'm a kid inside. It's fine. I was so excited. Okay, so the next category is self-care, anything you have done to look after yourself. So this one isn't really about a book, it's more so like things that you've done during quarantine to kind of do self-care and like look after yourself. So one of the things I've done is I've started exercising a lot more. And another thing is that I've started reading, because reading is really important to me and it helps keep me sane. So yeah, those are the things that I'm doing for self-care. And the last one is actually a bonus. You didn't have to do this to do the tag, but it was name a book that's coming out soon. So I do know a book that's coming out soon. I obviously don't have it because it hasn't come out yet, but I'm so excited for it to come out. It's a book by Ellen Hopkins. She's coming out with a book on October 6th, and it is called Closer to Nowhere. I can't wait to get it. Usually her books come out sometime in early October. My birthday is October 10th, so I usually get her book for my birthday. And I can't wait. There had been like a few years where her books didn't like coincide with my birthday, and I didn't get them for my birthday. So when I saw that she was coming out with a book on October 6th, I like ran to my parents and I was like, so I know what you're getting me for my birthday. And they were like, Kaylee, it's June. What are you talking about? And I was like, I know what you're getting me for my birthday. You're getting me this book by Ellen Hopkins because I need it. And they kind of laughed at me, but I know I'm gonna get it because that's just how my birthdays go. And I can't, there's no complaints here about it at all. I'm really excited for it, actually. So anyways, that's the end of this book tag. I now tag all of you out there watching this video to do the tag. Make sure you go check out, what's her YouTube channel? Princess of Paperback. Go check out her video. It's great. I highly recommend it. Go check out her channel in general. I just recently found it when I found this tag, and I'm already obsessed with all of her videos. She does great videos on books, so if you like books, if you're a fan of BookTube, which I didn't know was a thing on YouTube, but I'm so obsessed with it now, go check out her channel. Highly recommend it. Anyways, I'll see you later, guys. Bye!